For this video, I want to talk about suicide, and it's going to be raw, meaning that it's just coming straight from my mind. So I apologize in advance for the jump cuts and the ands and the buts and the ahs. However, I do feel like this is a very significant topic to talk about fundamentally it probably isn't, but it does give me a bit of happiness. I love philosophizing and really tackling subjects like this. So to get into it, suicide is sanity, in my opinion. Not necessarily the actual act of killing yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to do that, then that's up to you. But in saying that, I feel like if you have suicidal thoughts so that you've been suicidal, you actually have a sense of sanity to you, because the world is shit. Absolutely shit. And if you're a person who goes about living in this world without ever feeling like, fuck, this sucks, I just want to get out of here, then either A, you are very tolerant of bullshit and suffering, or you're just very ignorant of what's actually occurring around the planet. Even in rich people, I think this might be the first time in human history where even the rich are miserable. It used to just be the poor, but now it's both, like it's all classes. So, in saying that, firstly, if you are suicidal, do not feel like there is something wrong with you. In my opinion, I think there's something right with you. You've taken the first step by identifying that, fuck, there's something wrong with this planet, there's something wrong with this world, I don't want to be here. Which brings us to step 2, which is, what should you do about that? And firstly, if you want to just end it, just kill yourself and so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. People go about life trying to control others and shackle them with absolute ridiculous, religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, which are nothing at all, proven in the fact that eventually down the track they will fall into nothing, as previous cultural and religious beliefs have. So to really live a life and have a perspective that is based on cultural and religious beliefs is pretty foolish, really limiting, restricting, and then you probably would be suicidal. But so if you're questioning as to what you should do, whether you should actually kill yourself or not, my advice would be to do it, but to your ego. Meaning that do not go kill your biological self, because there's two voices within you. And I think a lot of people don't really recognize this or realize this, but they tend to define themselves as the speaker, the thought, the thinker, forgetting about the fact that naturally while you sleep, or while I sit here right now and while you probably listen, your heart beats, your blood circulates, your nerves tingle, your cells duplicate, the stars formulate, galaxies are created. There's this natural influence, which in my opinion is mysterious, magical, incredible. And people tend to forget about that because they're so confined and forced and focused on their egotistical perception that they exclude how incredible it is just to exist, just to be here right now. And so when they think about committing suicide, they tend to want to kill themselves, the thinker. In which, if that is the case, then why are you killing the biological self? The biological self is trying to survive, thrive, and grow. So in my opinion, I wouldn't kill your biological self, I would kill your ego. And that is 100% achievable. There's no restrictions that you have on that. You have the key to be a completely new person, new name, new everything. That you can choose any name that you want, be anyone that you want, because every moment is a new moment. Every day is a new day. And you are not your past, you are not your history, you are the now. For that is all that there is. So that is my advice as to what you should do. Just on top of that, that's why I'm going to title this, if you're suicidal, do something incredible. Just go out there and try to, actually maybe not even try, just go wander somewhere. just keep going. Like, if you have a car, jump in your car, just go. Because what do you have to lose? People who are truly suicidal are truly suicidal, meaning that they don't care what happens to them because they want to die. And to want to die is to go into what everyone will eventually go into. And which is why it's people who say suicide is wrong becomes a bit humorous, because everyone is naturally suicidal. You're naturally killing yourself over the next so many years. For an average human life, like 80 years, you're going to be killing yourself for. So you're all in. All your cards are on the table. So why would you sort of want to choose to pull the trigger alone in your apartment or something? Go fucking leave your apartment. Go drive or walk somewhere or what have you. Just leave and just go somewhere incredible. And if you die, you die. That was going to be the end conclusion anyway. But you never know. You may be able to transform yourself, become someone new. So that's my advice. That's my opinion. That's what I would do if I was suicidal. I was suicidal back close to when I made the first video 3 years ago. I was suicidal. And see, that's the other thing. You don't necessarily have to travel physically. You can travel mentally if you want. Meaning that if you are a person who believes in one thing, or multiple things normally, and you're suicidal, mix those beliefs up. For me, I went to philosophy. I was Christian, so of course I felt suicidal about that. And I went straight into philosophy. And my God, I've never felt so awoken. I've never felt so alive as well. So yeah, you don't have to physically travel, but if you are someone who does more so depend on the physical domain, then do that. Then do just jump on a train and just go to the mountains, climb a mountain and look at the view and see if you transform. Because usually, I mean, I'm not very scientific, but I presume this just logically. When you're in an environment, your mind adapts to it. It then creates a sort of ambience and atmosphere. And with that atmosphere, it then is reflective of your mind. So if you're depressed and you remain in that environment, you're going to remain depressed. You're going to remain suicidal. If you choose to leave that environment, if you choose to just go somewhere, then your mind has to enter a whole new domain, a whole new ambience. So yeah, I would do that. I would definitely, I think just to kill yourself biologically isn't, to egotistically choose to do that just doesn't make sense to me logically. But in saying that, it's not wrong. There are no rules and laws except for like gravity and things like that, more scientific. The rest is subjective. So I hope this helps in some sort of way. I may make a more detailed and write something down, but this is raw. So yeah, thanks.